Televerse.
Welcome to Televerse Reviews, and as the intro just told you, we are starting to go through episode by episode Workaholics. I'm your host, ALANNIS MAXIMUS. This is my co-host, TOMYE West, and
greetings.
So we're going to be starting at the start, funnily enough, and that is
Piss and shit.
That is the one, my friend.
Before we get started into it, ALANNIS, I just wanted to ask you, was your recollection of this show like the same as mine? Because it definitely wasn't correct, my recollection, which is I didn't think that this show started in 2008.
Yeah, it was weird when in episode 3 they made an Avatar reference, and I'm like, it felt older than that.
Like, to me, it felt newer. Avatar. That's the thing is, like, I didn't realize it started in 2008. I thought it was like 10, 11, 12, 2000, like around that time. And then I was like looking it up, and I'm pretty sure the show ran until what, 2016?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a quick look. 2011, it says here, you know, on IMDb. What? Okay. We've got an issue here. On IMDb, episode guide 86. TV series, it said it came out 2011.
See, that would make sense because Avatar was 2010. So it'd have to be 2010, I think. I don't know.
That's whack, man. Because you know
You
what?
failed us, internet.
That fucks up every intro I've made. Why is it labeled that it's 2008 then on my torrents? Yes, I downloaded it illegally. And yes, yes, I had the wrong information. Anyways, so with that, I've cut together a little preview that I thought we'd take a look at and show everyone a little sort of a rough outline about the episode and what it's about and some of the funny bits. What do you reckon?
I reckon that sounds good to me.
So let's start with the first episode of the whole entire thing, and that is Piss and Shit, episode 1.
Make a shot, please. Yo, dude. Hey, Durs, you can make a smaller face. Adam.
Thank you.
Come on, guys. This is a Sunday fun day. Let's get crazy. And the helmet shot.
Are you guys freaking out?
Okay, now I am, Jillian. Why don't you chill out?
Sorry, it's just you guys don't at all look ready for the drug test today.
Wait, there's a drug test today?
Yeah.
What if this doesn't work, man? We need clean piss.
How are we supposed to find someone to give us clean piss when everyone over the age of 12 smokes weed these days? Hey, kids! You gotta go pee? Trick Tails, I'm talking to you!
We have candy! Guys, come on, look at our faces.
Man, we're just scaring these kids. Why don't we go somewhere where we can actually get some clean piss?
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I'll give you some piss.
You will?
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, what are you guys doing? Go, 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 go! Perverts!
You got some, right? You got some pee?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here.
Durs, just turn the car around. Let's go back to the office, get it over with.
Yeah, all right.
Karma is for real.
Good preview, huh?
I do like it. It was informative.
Definitely was. So, ALANNIS, give me your thoughts on this episode of Piss and Shit.
It was I thought this episode was actually later on. I didn't know it was the first episode. But I remember it reasonably well. I think it's a pretty strong opener. It's not as good as the show gets by any means, but I think it captures the main characters pretty well. It gives you a pretty good idea of what the show's about and the stupidity that ensues.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have written in my notes. See, I wrote a lot of notes for this, yeah. I felt like it does a great job, I wrote, of giving you an idea of the characters and humor very quickly, with the opening scene of the prank they play on Durs with the chick, the sexting, you know what I mean? Which I think is a hilarious beginning. And
Yes.
in that part, I love that line. Durs, who can make the smaller face? They bunch their faces up. And what did you think of the improv in this episode? Did you notice the parts that were improv?
I did not actually know that there was improv in that.
Okay, so every episode features improv. They said they, like, as a joke, like, this is not the real percentage, I'm sure, but as a joke, they said that 47%, I think it was, or something of the show is like ad-libbed on the spot. So the first ad-lib you can tell, that I can tell anyway, that I found, that I could tell definitely was on the spot, was when Durs walks onto the roof after the credits roll, and it goes, he goes, oh, look, if it isn't Dickman Dumbo. And then it goes to Adam, who goes, oh, look, if it isn't, your dick is so tan, bro. And then he goes, nah, you didn't like that one? And Blake's like, nah. Like, that one. Like, that was a bit of a that I thought was definitely really good. And also the one that I noticed that was improv was how he could start a fire with his legs by rubbing them together. When he was, do you remember that line?
Yeah.
I could start a fire. When I was younger in high school, I rubbed my legs together really fast and I started a fire or whatever. I felt like that was improv as well. What did you think about the whole how Durs got them back with the apple juice or whatever, and then
Yes.
and then Adam knocks the piss all over him.
Yeah.
And he's like, and this is all over your face. Like, what, you don't think I'm the sweetest or whatever? Who's the guy that's cool enough to get a leather jacket? There's so many good lines in this movie. I mean, this episode. And what did you think about the Die Hard take?
I liked it. It was I enjoyed that reference. That was probably one of my favorite things about it, was the reference to Die Hard in this.
And I love how it kind of like goes from being the episode just about a drug test to the Die Hard thing, which is like they walk back into the house to get the niacin off Carl, and he's standing there watching Die Hard, and he's like, I love that. Did he just say cluck instead of fuck? Yeah, it's on cable, so it's all different. And he's like, shut the clock up! Fuck! And then later on, when Blake is like getting the plan together, and he's just like, yippee-yay, yippee-ki-yay, mother cluckers. And then what did you think about like when they took the niacin and they went to the primary school?
Yes.
I have can I have that lighter? It's a Zippo. Can I light cats on fire? Cats?
No.
And another one of my favorite bits of this was the when Adam throws the piss out the window and it comes back,
in his face.
Slashes him in the face. He says, "Karma is for real." And yeah, like, what else did you like about this episode?
I like I don't know if it's at the very end or after. It was at the very end where they go back to the school, like, and it's got the girl this time with the shuriken, the ninja stars. Kind of enjoyed that throwback moment where they've gone back there as well.
Yeah. There's a couple of parts that were in this cut of the episode that I didn't take note of what it was, but there was some lines that like were much shorter on every version I've seen apart from these. You know what I mean? Like the ones that I've got. I don't know if they were like removed or extended for the DVD. You know, like what I don't know if they were removed from like the original, added to the original, or removed from the original. You know what I mean? When I saw it.
Yeah.
As I said, I don't know. Do you know if this show came to Australia? and the rest of the world at the same time as each other, as America got it? Because I don't think we did.
I don't think so either. I know it was on Foxtel when I first started seeing it, but I think it was well into season 2 or 3 by the time I discovered it.
Okay, so wait. Okay, we've got 2011 here as the original. Okay, so we got it. We got it same day.
Huh.
It says release date, January 1st, 2011 on the internet. And then it says that's United Kingdom. And then Australia, April 6th, 2011. And then United States, April 6th, 2011. So it's kind of weird that United Kingdom got it before America even.
Huh.
By so it started in January of that year in the United Kingdom, but only on the internet. And then it went to everywhere else in April, except Netherlands and South Africa. Whoa, they got it nearly a year later. And it didn't hit France, Germany till 2013. Weird. Very weird. So give me your experience of when you first saw this show and how you came across it.
It would have had to have been just on Foxtel. Channel surfing, really.
It would have been Comedy Channel, yeah?
Yeah.
Because that's weird, yeah? I find it really weird that Comedy Central was such a big, prominent thing in the mid-2000s with shows, even back going in the 90s. I think South Park really cemented Comedy Central as a legit station that people viewed. I think before South Park, Comedy Central was kind of it was almost like a small public access sort of feel, you know what I mean? It almost felt like there wasn't a lot on it. Probably some rubbish shows. I don't know, maybe Tom Green. That's maybe it, you know. But then we got South Park, and then I felt like South Park gave Comedy Central legs to kind of expand themselves into newer shows. It's kind of like how Netflix make their own shows, you know what I mean? And I think what happened was Workaholics got, I don't know, do you know how it was found? Do you know the origin?
Not at all, man. No.
So the origin of Workaholics is Blake, Anders, and Adam. First Blake and Adam met each other in an improv class in Orange County, OCC improv. So they were learning improv, and they both thought each other were funny and decided to write things. And then apparently Adam was sneaking out to write things with Durs because he couldn't tell Kyle and Blake in real life that he was writing with other people because they got all jealous and shit like that. So he went and stuck around and wrote things with Durs, and then they all came together and they started making skits with each other. And they had a bunch of shows. Crossbows and Mustaches is a show that you can see on YouTube. They had another show. They had some skits. And then they brought out a show called Fifth Year. Now, Fifth Year is sort of the loose blueprints of what Workaholics would turn into. And what I thought we could do, ALANNIS, is actually take a quick look at 2 of the clips from these guys before they made it big. What do you reckon?
Yeah, why not?
So we'll go. One of my favorite things they've ever done is this. Now, this was 14 years ago. And now, I don't know whose YouTube this is. They're called Dungeon of the Nutsack, and they uploaded it. And I'm guessing that this has to be one of the dudes from the show, because it's had 1.5 million views. The description is Durs has a drinking problem. And I don't know who the uploader is. So I'm guessing it has to be one of them, maybe an old account or something, you know what I mean? So let's check out Musical Beers. This is a skit from them before they hit Workaholics.
His mustache came out to here, and he had waxed the tips. Where it's deadly.
It was hands down one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I want to get a license plate thing that says I'd rather be acting right now.
You want a beer?
Hook it up!
Hey.
Hook me up! Beer? Actually, you know what? Just hold off on that tonight.
don't even worry about it.
I've got $5 if that's what you need for me to get a beer.
Last night, me and Blaine got to talking, and we came to the realization, dude, that you have a drinking problem.
Okay, good one. Now can I have a beer? All right, give me a beer.
I'm not gonna give you a beer, dude.
Blaine, will you give me a beer?
I'm not giving you a beer, man.
Why?
Because every time you drink with us, it gets like really depressing, dude.
Yeah, it's like every time we drink together, it's like I want to kill myself by going down on a wolf.
What are you guys talking about?
You know what? Go ahead, take a beer.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys are gonna see you're making a big deal out of nothing.
Okay, whatever.
Okay?
Man.
Yep.
It's not a big deal. All right.
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
Yeah, you hear that, dude? Every time you take a sip of beer, sad music plays.
If that's not a drinking problem, what is?
I don't have a drinking problem.
If you didn't have a drinking problem, why would the sad music play?
I don't know. Okay, but why don't you drink and see what happens?
Fine, I will, and it's gonna be fucking awesome. So check this out. Woo! Yes!
Yeah.
Well, that is a party! Yeah!
Okay, no, this is bullshit. Okay, I can hang with you guys.
I don't know about that, Dirk. Check this out.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah, urban classic.
Somebody's gonna get laid tonight.
You know what? You know what? Lend me your ears, guys. Lend me your ears, cause I'm about to knock them off. One more time. This is it, okay? That wasn't it. This is. I'm gonna do it this time, guys. Watch. God damn it!
We could help you if you just let us.
Now what hurts here, buddy? What hurts here?
I don't know.
I don't believe you.
Is it from when you're fighting overseas? In Quebec?
Iraq, dude.
Hey, did you see a friend get killed or something?
See a family get burned alive or some crazy shit?
What did you see over there, man?
I saw Kid Rock live in concert.
No!
And Uncle Cracker opened for him.
No! Wait a second, that's Iraq. That's in the past. You are home now, and this is America, and we're not gonna let you get held down by Kid Rock.
We're not gonna let Kid Rock and his boys apart to bang, diggy, 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 send the boogie, send up, jump the boogie, hold you down.
You're right. And you're right, too. Kid Rock doesn't own my life.
Yes!
I'm not chained down by his melody.
Yeah!
I'm not trapped beneath his golden locks of oily hair.
That doesn't make any sense, but I think you're ready to finish that beer.
I think so, too.
Uh-huh.
I get knocked down.
Okay, that song sucks balls, but it's better than that sad shit from before.
Well, it's about time.
Miller time.
I get knocked down.
I think that they're brilliant, guys. I think that you can see why Comedy Central found their show on YouTube and were like, guys, just make your own show. And they were like, oh, first they pitched the Wizards, you know, their act, the Wizards, the rap group they made.
Yeah, yeah.
They made pitched Comedy Central that was that the Wizards, they were going to be gangster wizards. You know, it was going to be like a show about gangster magical wizards. I don't know. And Comedy Central were like, just stick to your original idea, I think, which is the Slackers thing, you know, like let's just do the Slackers thing. Now, I don't want to watch the whole thing because it's too long. I will just show you a couple of seconds of what Comedy Central saw and picked up as like, this is what we want as the show. And this is it here. It's set at the same house, as you can see.
Hey, Durst.
Dude, we better head inside. Wings Marathon starts in like 10 minutes. I want you to see the pilot. Dude, you want to go to Radio Shack and get some remote control cars?
Get him.
Is this my shirt, dude? This
Yeah.
is a new shirt.
Yes.
Is there pee on this?
Yes. And we're gonna
You fucking idiot! I hate you. Why are you kicking? No kicking loud.
stupid shit.
Stop kicking. Stop. What?
Come on,
Teach you for
guys.
kicking so loud. Stop. Who kicks?
Oh, yeah.
What now? What now? I'm gonna fart in your mouth.
No.
I'm gonna fart in your mouth. Ow!
Come on.
Grow up! Grow up! Grow up! Grow up!
Hey, I'm not in college anymore. Come on. I do not want to move back to my parents' house, so let's make this work.
Okay.
Fine. Come on. Let's get together. The rules. House meeting.
Fine.
That's what they saw originally. So with that, is there anything else that you want to... Actually, we should quickly talk about this. What do you think about the cast of characters apart from these three and Carl? Like,
Yeah, they all fit fairly well. I don't mind them.
yeah, like, what did you think? Did you like Alice? Did you like Jillian? What about Robbie the tester?
Yeah, I think the boss and Montez kind of stand out the most, I think.
Definitely. I do like Jillian though. Like, she grew on me. I mean, you don't see it early on in the first, like, these episodes as much, but like as the show goes, she's pretty like, she's pretty like up there with those guys, as in like who you'd need in the show if you need to come back. It's kind of like how they need Alice as well, you know?
Yeah.
Because the show is workaholics and they do need to have jobs, because that's kind of like the whole fun, you know? So with that, what do you think? Move on to episode 2?
Yeah, I reckon.
Cool. And with that, we will look at a preview of the second episode, which is called We Be Born.
You guys ready to get weird tonight or what?
For sure.
Dude, I can't believe you spent your entire paycheck on that jacket.
Well, I didn't spend my entire paycheck. I made $350, and Carl gave me a deal on the coat, $345.
Way to go.
Well, I invested my savings in a little bottle of Epicac. It's the stuff that makes you barf.
Yeah, it makes you barf, dude, because nothing makes me barf. It's weird. I've got a stomach of steel.
Adam, scientists developed that. It would make you vomit.
That's weird. Definitely don't feel like barfing right now. Oh, wait. No, I'm barfing. I'm barfing right now. I'm not barfing.
Okay.
Wait, I'm barfing. I'm barfing. Those scientists better check their hypotenuses, dude. Oh, God.
We should go. That was fun.
No, what? You don't have to go. Let's talk Clippers.
You're a fan?
Yeah, I love the whole Clip show. Got season tickets, so.
Really?
We have to get tickets to that Clippers game, man.
I don't know how we're gonna get these tickets tonight.
Well, I have a pretty good idea. We'll go to the Staples Center, call in a bomb threat, right? The game will get pushed for a day, then we'll trick those chicks into staying at a hotel room with us, get real physical with them, so hard that they won't even remember the game in the first place. It'll be like Dorothy at the end of The Wizard of Oz. Instead of clicking heels, we'll be knocking boots. Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Clippers tickets, free. Vengan para acá, amigos.
Clippers
DJ Lobito.
What's the contest?
Whoever holds their breath the longest in that horchata tank wins.
Can't believe you keep your Speedo in the trunk, dude.
Oh, no, this is not what I thought it was. Oh my, that smells like cat farts. That smells exactly like a cat's fart. Your time to shine.
Yeah, I don't
Physical challenge.
Clock! Start it!
Go Dares!
What's the time to beat?
Hey, you can hold him under, bingo. That's against the rules.
Okay.
Are you crazy?
Oh, yeah. Yes!
Jesus. You saw a dick, didn't you? You've got to show Montez your penis.
That makes so much sense to me.
Is your dad home?
Alanis, what did you think about We Be Ballin'?
I didn't mind it, but it also definitely isn't the strongest episode. I just wasn't that into the storyline, I don't think. It had its funny moments, but it didn't really have many standout moments, I don't think.
I definitely think that probably one of the strongest moments in this episode is the cold call, like the cold opening, sorry. You know what I mean? Like the bear coat, him throwing up from the Epicac, those things. I definitely think that was like the strongest thing about the episode was that intro, you know, was the opening. I also thought the whole side premise to the episode, which is like Blake having to restore balance in the world because he saw Montez's penis, and then he tries to show his cock back to him and it goes to Montez. What did you like about this episode? What were some of the moments you thought was really standing out in this?
I think there weren't heaps of them in this episode. I think like the start, as you said, where they give the older guys the ipecac and they also run off vomiting.
Yeah.
I think they were probably the strongest points in the episode for me.
I really love Blake's shirt that he's wearing underneath the Grizzly shirt, which is like the shirt that looks like it's covered in blood.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And I think that, it's weird that you like Montez because I really don't think he's fun in this show ever, kind of, you know? Like, I like Waymond, but we haven't gotten much of him. We only got in the first episode where he's like Waymond as he walks by. I think that's all we get, yeah?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, and in the third episode, when he gets the shirt, Montez, we're going to get to that, when he gets the shirt given to him, we see that as well. But what do you think? Do you think, from your memory, do you think that like the earlier episodes are as good as some of the later ones, or do you have a memory of it getting better as it went?
I definitely have some memories of the earlier ones being pretty decent. Like there's a couple of memories, episodes in mind. One of them actually being episode 3. Yeah, there's a couple of others I can remember quite well, and I think they're more in the earlier onsets of the series.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think about? Okay, so they wrote this whole season. Obviously, they got the house. They like it was basically they were given money by Comedy Central, and they were just like, go for it. How do you think this fares as a first season compared to like say big budget like sitcoms or other shows that are similar to this, say like The Office?
I think it makes its point pretty well. It's pretty reasonable. It's more enjoyable than most sitcoms because I fucking hate The Office, the UK and the US. So
that's interesting. I didn't know you didn't like the American one at all because I didn't like the British one, but that was because I didn't really like the character that Ricky Gervais plays in it. I love Ricky Gervais. I fucking love Ricky Gervais, but I don't really like his character in The Office. And I found that the first season of The Office kind of tried to mimic exactly the events of the British Office, but then it kind of got its own feel. It kind of got its own characters. It kind of was like the same premise as The Office in Britain, but turned into its own show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After a while, but I find that interesting that you didn't like The Office. Like, what would you say is on par to something like this, like another show?
Not too sure. I think, yeah, I don't really have a comparison for it.
Like, I mean, I know it's not the same, but Malcolm in the Middle is another single camera comedy. You know, I'm just trying to think of single camera comedies, which is like what maybe Key and Peele. I don't know, like. That came much later, though, hey? Single camera comedies. So we got 30 Rock, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Everybody Hates Chris, Modern Family. So I don't know. Like, it seems to me like I'm trying to see if we can find where Workaholics sits on this list. Yeah, no, it can't. The Mindy Project, Parks and Recreation. I mean, do you like any of those?
No, I don't really watch much comedy, so.
What about Community?
No, I didn't like that either.
I didn't watch much of it either, man. I'm surprised that you like this and you watched this then, if you don't watch many comedies or single camera comedies, you know?
I don't know. I think something just about it clicked.
I definitely think this show is above everything else that is in its genre. I definitely think this may be one of the best all-time comedy series ever made. I don't know if that's over, like, I don't know if that's just because I love the show, or do you feel the same with this show?
I don't know about all-time comedies, but it's definitely.
No, but I'm not talking movies. I'm just talking single camera comedy shows ever made. Like, think
It's
about
pretty
it.
decent, I think.
I think it's up there, you know, and I just think it has to be the right humor for the right person. And I definitely think that this is a very, you either like think this show's funny or you hate it. I don't know anyone that's like, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, I know people that are like, it's so funny, or people that are like, I hate it. You know what I mean? Like, I know someone who really hates it and they think it's boring, but yet they think 2.5 Men is good. And I'm just sitting there, I don't know what to say to that. You know what I mean? Like, I know you like 2.5 Men. I know you're a fan of 2.5 Men, especially when Charlie Sheen was around. I know you didn't really like the later ones. But like, I don't think that they compare or are on the same level. I think that they're completely different styles of comedy. And I think that 2.5 Men, obviously you like it and a lot of people do. So it obviously has that sort of humor going for it. And if you like that humor, it does it well for you. And this show has my sort of humor and it does it well for my sort of humor. You know what I mean? I definitely think you need to relate to the characters or know people that you can relate to the characters to sort of get the same feel from it. What about you?
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I definitely think you need to have an appreciation for things like marijuana and things like that. Yeah, so I don't think this episode was as strong as the other one. By the way, everyone, the reason I'm going into the history and the reason we're discussing more than just the episodes about the show is because it's the first episode and we want to kind of like not just talk about that episodes itself, but like the history and like where we think it goes, you know, comedy-wise against other shows and things like that, just because it's the premiere episode. You know what I mean? And ALANNIS, I don't want you to feel like I'm taking this hosting away from you. It's just that I know I fucking... like, I love this show, you know what I mean? So I just, like, have so much to say about it. And believe me, I have my criticisms about this show too, especially when it gets later on. I think there's some really, really missed episodes. And I think that the later it went on, the less sort of it got, like, it felt different, you know what I mean, from everything else. I think it started to become too similar to everything you'd see everywhere else later on. But I definitely think this broke boundaries when it first came out, and set a new precedent for what people should do with TV shows. And it doesn't always have to sort of be relatable to sitcom stuff like Big Bang Theory and all that. You know what I mean? It can be adult entertainment and no fake crowd laughter or anything and be just as good.
Yeah, I agree.
So with that, let's move on to the third episode of this series. We're going to take a little look at what that looks like with Office Campout.
Nevertheless, we have nowhere to sleep for 3 days.
Come on, guys. It's our chance to take that camping trip we've never talked about. Dude, tell that story again, but this time... untrue.
Will you take this world by storm?
All right, ALANNIS, tell me what you thought about Office Campout.
This is one of the episodes that is actually a bit more memorable to me, and I can remember quite clearly when I think about the show. I actually think it's probably one of the better episodes of the show altogether for that reason. It just is amusing. It kind of takes what the first episode did in simple premise and does it, I think, better. It's a bit more interesting. It's got a lot more kind of memorable about it. More kind of pop culture references, which I like in this show.
It had a lot, didn't it?
A lot, yes, definitely.
I've noticed that they have a lot of like this show is a lot of pop culture references, like the whole thing. I know later on when we get to them, there's a lot of like Jurassic Park references. Actually, we might have to quickly spin back to the second episode. Did you notice the reference when Blake rocked up to Montez's house with the music and everything?
I don't think so.
And he's riding the bike into the driveway. It's The Simpsons.
Ah.
It sounds meant to sound like The Simpsons, you know what I mean, and be like The Simpsons. He drops the bike like Bart and everything in the driveway. I thought that was interesting. The other thing I noticed was there was another fact that I found out about this show. I'm not sure what it was. If I think of it, I'll let you know. But yeah, I love this episode, man. This Office Campout episode. I think this is. You're right. This is definitely in the upper echelon of Workaholics episodes. I would probably put it in the top 5 episodes ever made. But I know what my favorite episode of Workaholics is of all time. I already know what's going to go to number 1 for me. And it gets a perfect score for me, that episode. But the problem is that's not for a long time, so we're not going to be talking about that episode for a while. What did you think about this premise and how they took the simple premise of they needed to get their house fumigated because of cockroaches, and then they needed somewhere to stay and they had nowhere to stay and they decided to have the camp out in the office? How do you like that it went into more of like a heist sort of feel and all that? Do you like what they do?
I do. I think they did that really well as well, kind of painting the IT guys as being criminals, and that it was done quite intelligently.
You're definitely sold on them being criminals, yeah. Like you definitely
absolutely
think, like you don't put it together. They did such a great job of like the IT guys at the start, and he's like, no sweat, Brett, and then leaves, and then like later he has to come back. Obviously, the IT guys come back to fix something overnight, like while everyone's not there, and these guys think that they're robbing the place. You know what I mean? Or like, you're doing something with the computer servers, and it goes all the way to the top. Which is interesting, isn't it? Because
he's now the president.
Wasn't at the top, and now he is. You know what I mean? So it's kind of more relevant now, that joke. Because when they first said Biden, I wasn't up with my American politics. So when I first saw this episode, I was like, who? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know Joe Biden. Like, obviously he was a very well-known politician by that stage, and he was always on TV and featured on things to do with the White House or whatever. But like, I had no fucking clue, man. I was like, what? This would have been the Obama reign, yeah?
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, what are some of your favorite parts in this episode?
The whole initial sequence when they're first in the office and they're all just tripping balls, I think is pretty good. The roof sequence where Adam just fails to tie up clothes off.
Dude, one of my favorite scenes of all time of how he's like, should we jump? I'll do it. And then he's like, and then like, he's like, we'll just like ponytail our clothes together. And he's like, Rapunzel. And then he's like, what? And he's like, actually, that's funny. That's where the word, what is it? Repel comes from. Rapunzel, you know? And then, yeah, he throws the clothes off and he's just like, stop! I hate you! You're not listening! And then, what did you think about Adam, like, still eating all the mushrooms, just constantly just eating the mushrooms as they go through, you know, like, and, like, the parts I noticed that were improv in this, definitely, was, I feel like that line with Blake putting on the sunglasses and going, I'm a coyote with sunglasses, was, like, that must have been ad-libbed, because, like, they wouldn't have written that. I don't see that being written into the script where he's like, Blake gets a pair of sunglasses and puts on the sunglasses. And you know what I mean? It just seems like that was more of a natural thing that they were doing, you know, like at that time. And what do you think about the Catherine Zeta-Jones?
That is, I think, one of the more memorable parts of the show.
He has entrapped me and Sean Connery. What did you think about their little booby traps?
The Ethernet.
That's what I the Ethernet. What the laser thing, and he's like, "What does that do?" Nothing physically, mentally crushing, whatever. Something like that. And then he's got like the Braveheart thing I'll be here with. I reckon that's so good. And then I love how like it's playing out while he's explaining what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? And then like we'll use Adam as a distraction. He's just like passed out or whatever, and they like carry him. And then he does the Leroy Jenkins. And then yeah, when they find out that they're not the IT guys, I mean they are the IT guys. When they're like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna rob us? Oh, what about the? We should have guns because then we can be like, you're robbing us, you know?" Oh, what about the? How about we just be like, you guys are robbing this? I thought we had this. I guess ours is Tuesday or whatever. So, but yeah, when they find out that they're not the IT guys, I love how it slowly like unravels. How he's like, "Oh yeah, you're the one carrying around a knife. Well, I'm sorry if I got sexually assaulted or whatever when I was a kid, and I carry a knife around because I like to feel protection. You know what I mean?" Oh, that's terrible. We feel horrible for you. You know what I mean? And then they're like, when he goes, "Oh yeah, if you guys are the IT guys, then I should be able to. Hey, are you printing and downloading a picture at the same time? I don't know what I'm doing. Do you guys want shrooms? Yeah." And then they're all lying down. Catherine Zeta-Jones. And then I love how it zoomed. The last shot is it zooms out of them lying down. It's the whole office, and you see that they've just glued those glow-in-the-dark stars
all over
the office. So I think it's quite obvious from the way you're talking about this episode that this episode is your favorite out of the first three, yeah?
Absolutely.
I have to agree with you. I definitely think that this show, hands down, like, this is the perfect example of what this show does well, this episode.
I agree. 100%.
Which is like come up with a premise that hasn't been done before, but pack it full of references that people will love, pack it full of smart little things. You know, the IT guys, that was the plan from the start. Obviously, it just wrote it cleverly that you had no idea, you know, you didn't put it together. Like this is how the show should be done, how any show should be written if you're writing a comedy show, you know what I mean? Which is, there's something in this episode for everybody, you know what I mean? Like, what did you think about the opening of this episode with the cockroach in his ear?
Yeah, it was interesting. It was kind of, I think, one of the weakest parts of the episode, but still good.
I love that. It's a baby cockroach! And then he starts screaming. What is it? Maybe someone's been punching you while you've been asleep, dude. Well, have you? I don't know, man. Whatever. So I guess we should talk about our rankings with this. You know, I'm going to bring up the rankings for this episode. Now, first, actually, wait. Let's do this. Episode 1. What's your score for it?
Episode 1, I'm bringing through at 37.
A 37? So that's a very strong. That's out of 40. Now, do you want to explain to everyone how this goes?
Okay, so what we do is we'll watch a show episode by episode, and we'll give a score each out of 0 to 50 each, and combine them for a total score. Then kind of have a leaderboard of the episodes, and in the end, a overall kind of average of our show ranking for a final figure of like the season as a whole.
What I was thinking was because we're doing this is our first multiple season show that we're going to be doing. What do you think? Do you think that once we do the second rankings of the second season, we rank the seasons as well? We start ranking the order of which seasons? Or is that going to be done by the averages, you reckon?
I reckon we could do that by the averages, and then we could also have the ranking for them as well.
Yeah, that would work nice. Yeah, so with that, I mean, the first episode, you give a 37, you said, yeah?
Correct.
And I give it a 40.
Solid.
And then episode 2. What's your ranking?
Episode 2, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It was enjoyable, but also I don't think it was their best work. So I gave that one a 30.
A 30? And I believe that mine was 38.
Yep.
So one more point than you. And the last episode, clearly the winning favorite at the moment. And that is, what is your score for that?
My score for this one is 40.
40?
Yeah.
My score for this one is 42. So with that, let's bring up the added up scores for each episode and the tally so far. We have episode 1, episode 1 with a 77, episode 2 with a 68, and episode 3 with an 82, which means we have episode 3 at number 1 so far, episode 1 at number 2, and then episode 2 at number 3, right?
I just realized I didn't actually rank these properly, but we'll do that next time.
You know what? It's fine. Do it when we finish this quickly, and then send it through, and I'll put it in post.
Ah, excellent.
So yeah, episode 3 at number 1, episode 1 at number 2, episode 2 at number 3. Yep.
Yeah, that is correct.
So the episode list for next week, I'm going to pull it up now for us to work that out for everybody, and then we can work out, because I want to know something. I want to know, when are we getting the controversial episode? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Let me bring up an episode list. I was going to bring it up through my torrents, but that means I have to open up uTorrent, and it's probably going to make everything crash. Can you find one, ALANNIS? I'm looking now. Workaholics episode list. All right, so season 1. Next week, we are going to be doing... Okay, I don't think we're going to be quite there. Next week, we're going to be doing The Promotion, Checkpoint Gnarly, and The Strike.
Huh.
And then the week after that will be the episode that features the banned controversial episode. What are your thoughts about doing that episode? How do you feel about it?
I'm interested because I didn't know they actually had a banned episode.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know how you're going to feel about watching it. Do you know why it's banned?
Not at all, no.
So, it's got Crystalia in it.
Ah.
The episode is about Crystalia being a child pedophile predator on the Justin Bieber forums. And they find out Blake is on the Justin Bieber forums as well, because Blake's a big Justin Bieber fan, I guess. And they want to catch him. His name is what is it? What's the name? We're gonna look this up quickly. Hold on. I'm gonna look this up. So Workaholics to Friend of Predator. That's the name of the episode, by the way. Yeah, so like BieberHole69 is his username.
I can actually remember this episode.
You can?
Yeah.
So that's the banned episode. It wasn't banned. It wasn't like it was controversial when it first came out. It was controversial due to the nature of the episode. You know what I mean? Later on when it became relevant. Yeah, it's a topsy-turvy decision to make, man, because there are still fresh allegations coming out about Crystalia that are sort of around this subject. So what do you feel now about watching this episode?
It'll be an interesting conversation.
The problem with it is that as much as it's fucked up, how like it's sort of imitating life now, maybe. Allegedly! That's from This Is Important, by the way, their podcast as well. Allegedly! Yeah, it's kind of a tough one now because this episode to Friend of Predator that we're going to watch is, and always was, one of my favorite Workaholics episodes. And to be truthful, that's where I first discovered Crystalia. And that's where I learned to love Crystalia and was like, I think this guy's so fucking funny, man. I don't know who this guy is. And I looked him up and saw his stand up and all that. And that's when I became a big Crystalia fan. And now I can't do it anymore. I just can't anymore. I found someone to replace him and I'm going to stick with that replacement, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess that's going to be it for this episode. I mean, is there anything else that you want to say on the wrap up or what?
No, that is about everything. I think that I have in mind there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think we covered the episodes pretty well. I think we talked a little bit about their history and how they got discovered. Everyone's going to learn something if they're watching this. Apparently, another little thing. The piss shot where he threw the piss out the window and it hit him back in the face. Apparently, that was really hard to shoot. Apparently, it took him ages to get that one shot right, like where it comes back in his face. Apparently, they were like, we had so many issues filming this shot. That's the good thing about the files I downloaded. The commentary is there. So when I'm editing it, I can hear the commentary when I'm like cutting it together, but I have to delete the commentary out. You know what I mean? So before we end it though, I think we'll start doing this for everything. It's just that not everything we do is going to have this level of detail to it because, like, say, The Last of Us, it's brand new. Like, there is not a lot known about the production or whatever, you know, yet. I thought we could end like we did with Ranked and Reviewed every week with a little bit of trivia in the show. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. And we would do that going forward for everything that does have trivia that is necessary, you know? For the entire first season of filming, Blake Anderson and Adam Devine lived in the house where the characters live in the show. They were convinced that the show was going to get cancelled, so they did it to save money. In scenes where Adam's legs are shown, his lower legs are usually covered by socks because he has such horrific scarring on his legs after being run over when he was little. Yeah, he got taken out by I think it was a truck or a bus.
Jesus.
And yeah, it was like serious shit. Like, for anyone that wants to check that story out, go to Disney Plus and look for the show. What's it called? Give me one sec. Let me quickly find out what this show is called. It's called. So you can, if anyone, it's really good, this episode. I haven't watched anything else, but you should go check it out if you haven't seen it and you want to learn about this. The show is called. I can't find it here. Hold on. Disney Plus. Wait, we're going in order. Workaholics. When we first met, Game Over Man. Oh wait, actor. That's why he's an actor in that. We got to look up himself. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Sorry, 1 second. Previous. Writer. No. Wait. Sorry, I'm going to cut this all out, man. I'm just trying to find this. There's a show called Self. Here we go. The show is called Becoming, and it's on Disney Plus. And it's like becoming Adam Devine, becoming someone else, you know? And it's an episode based on his horrible accident and why he thinks he got to where he is because of that accident and things like that. A bit more trivia before we head off. They have often stated in interviews that about 36% of the show was improvised. There you go. Both Adam and Devine and Anders Holm worked as telemarketers in high school and college. All the main characters on this show are named after the real-life names of the respective cast, with the exception of Alice and Montez. And we will leave the rest of the trivia for... Actually, we'll say this one because you know what? This one we were just talking about. Season 1, Episode 8 has been removed from all streaming services except for Stan in Australia. Now, I want to correct that because I don't even think it's on Stan anymore, is it?
I'm not sure.
That's for the record and then we can get out of here. Stan, Workaholics. I think they did have it and I think that they lost it. But maybe not. Let's have a look. Nope, they've still got it.
There you go.
Is it there still? Yep, it's still there. To Friend a Predator. So if anyone wants to watch the band episode, it is on Stan Australia, use it a VPN if you're living in another country, or just download it or get it on home video release because you will not find it on any current streaming services apart from Stan Australia. And I don't know why that is. I guess Australia just don't give a fuck.
No.
Like, Crystal is alright, you know? Leave it, me. Alright, so I guess that's it. We will see you next week for our episode 2 of Televerse, yeah?
Yes, you will. I've been ALANNIS Maximus. This has been Tomye West, and you have been you.
Have they?
I don't know. Have you?
Imagine they won't, man.
Yeah. Weirdos.
We're the weirdos, bro. Trust me.
Oh.
All right, guys. Thanks.